Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. Done by our good friend Wiggy of the channel. Today we bring you loot from 3,000 Otherworldly Beings. Released into the game February 27th, 2002. These Otherworldly Beings are found south of the bank in Zenaris, and they can also be safe spotted by standing next to the flower pond and just attacking the ones on the other side of it. Whether you're a high level or a low level, an Iron Man or a normal account, I gotta be honest with you, these Otherworldly Beings are not the best to kill. And the reason I say this is because of the drops. As shown on screen here, you do have 6 different runes, all high tier, but not the most common to be seen. You have 1 in 14 for the nature, and then about 1 in 128 just for the blood runes. Then you go ahead and move on to the herbs, and there are 11 different herbs, which are usually 10 times as rare as the rune drops, which does cause that to be a downfall, because you certainly don't want to be killing hundreds of these Otherworldly Beings just to be able to get a couple low tier and a few high tier herb drops. It would take a long time just for a few of those. Finally, we have the remaining items, which is a 15 coin drop. On top of that, you have a ruby ring, a mithril mace, and a cooked mackerel. With a small and simple drop table like that, you can imagine why 3,000 were killed for this video and not just 1,000. It would be nice to see a tier of clue scroll with these Otherworldly Beings, but in all honesty, with the release date being so long ago, I don't think they've ever updated the drop table of this monster. And that made it so that the only footage for this video is just all the banking trips and of course the price check. That's why the video is so short, but hey, there's nothing wrong with a short video every now and then. And if you're curious of the kills per hour, with this setup, full bandos and a whip on top of the Saradomin Godsword and being close to max combat, you can expect around 200 kills an hour, which if you think about it, isn't really that much for such a low level monster to kill. But 3,000 combined with the banking made this about a 15-hour grind for Wiggy, and other than the normal drops, you can expect occasional nature talisman drops and of course the uncut gems. That is the common rare drop table for most monsters though, so it's nothing too out of the ordinary. One of the benefits I would say about this monster is that the nature rune drops make it so it's a little more appealing to low-level Iron Man accounts, but in reality there are much better alternatives to get nature runes in early game. I haven't had too much good to say about the Otherworldly Being, although it does stand out for its simple graphics. It's nice to see just a sheet of clothing walking around. I don't think I'd ever see someone killing these off task, because this is a Slayer task assigned by Vanica, which is usually just used by lower levels in the game, so you really only see people doing a Slayer assignment here at lower combat. You get about 66 Slayer XP every kill, so that's not terrible. Also, they do have that ruby ring drop. You can't discount that. Good for clue scrolls, I believe, if you make it into the Ring of Forging, so any low levels out there. And if you're curious, in this area of Zenaris, there are 4 total monsters that can be killed, and the Otherworldly Beings, I would say, are the most profitable ones out of the other 3. Other 3 being cows, zygamites, and tanglefoot. So I guess this is the best you can get in Zenaris. I'd really like to see an expansion down here in the far future. I know that they can do a lot with all the fairies surrounding this area and much more. With all that being said, we'll see what happens in the future with that, but let's go ahead and do the price check from 3,000 Otherworldly Being kills. Overall amount coming to be 873.6k, which we will go ahead and round up to 874. About 220 of that was just from the herbs alone, and everything else was from the runes, as well as the ruby rings and everything in the rare drop table. More than I expected, honestly, but if the price of runes was more as it used to be, then this would be a little bit more profitable, but I wouldn't say that this is any good money making method, not recommended by me or Wiggy, and hopefully this video answers any questions about these Otherworldly Beings that any new players might have, or that anyone was just curious about in general. Well, that is it for today, guys. Just a short one. Still working on Road to Elysian episode number 3, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.